After many years of working on a variety of different channels on this platform, and a lot of people telling me that it would take 6 months for it to get here, I have my YouTube play button. I'm so excited. We're gonna open it up in this video, and then we will get to a full office tour and tour of the new studio room and the new retro game room. Let's jump in.
Useful tech education and gaming nostalgia that won't put you to sleep. Get subscribed and turn on notifications so you won't miss the next guide.
So, YouTube play button arrived in basic black box, nothing too crazy. We're gonna go ahead and unbox it, and then we're gonna get it up on the wall behind me, and then I'll show you around the new studio. Oh man, I am so excited for this. This actually arrived a couple days ago, and I just have not had a chance to open it up because obviously I wanted to do it on camera. That's what you do with this, and it's been kind of painful to have to sit here and wait on it. Pretty crazy. And like I said, this arrived very quickly. They clearly fixed their shipping problem, because used to everyone said it would take like 6 months, and it no longer did. It took about 2 weeks it took me about a week or two to actually get like the validation code to order the play button, and then it took maybe another week or two to actually order it, but it was nothing. By the time I realized what was going on, I had it. Alright, so we're greeted by a foam cover. Oh man, I'm actually nervous for this. I haven't felt this during an unboxing. Oh man, alright. So we have a letter from Susan. You've just done something that very few YouTube creators accomplish. You had an astonishing 100,000 people subscribe to your channel. We know that numbers on YouTube can get really big, but we hope that you don't lose sight of the reality behind the 6-digit milestone. Each and every person who has subscribed to your channel has been touched by what you created. They were inspired, challenged, or entertained. You achieved this milestone with hard work, perseverance, and probably a healthy sense of humor, too. Not me. Okay, what you've accomplished can't be taken away from you. Hopefully, if they don't actually take it away from me. And we'd like to recognize you and all your hard work in the Silver Creator Award, a small token for our esteem and respect. We know you don't do this for rewards, you do it because you have a drive to create and share, because you found an audience who cares. Believe us when we say we can't wait to see what you do next. 1 million subscribers may seem a long way off now, but you're closer than you think. I hope so. And then we have this award was inspected by card, and we have the play button itself. No more stalling. Oh, that's very reflective. Oh my god. Oh, it's real. Like, oh, okay. I just hit my light. So, for those of you who are unaware, I have been uploading to YouTube, not to this channel, but on the whole, for most of my adult life. Or for half of my entire life, actually. I have been uploading for 12 years, and I am 24, turning 25. So it will be further than half of my life moving forward I've spent on YouTube. Now it's been on different channels. I started out just doing random crap. Even my gaming channel wasn't good at first. You know, I was making terrible videos for the longest time. I wasn't trying to do it full time. And so to finally have something like this is just incredible. So here it is. In all of its reflective glory, you get to see my light. Actually, if we do it like this, here we go. This is the new silver play button. They don't do the actual play buttons award anymore. They changed the name to creator awards because they kept breaking during shipping and were expensive. That's probably why it took so long to ship to, was they had to be made. So this is now more of a plaque. You've got a nice mirrored surface. Actually, it's a really high quality mirror, which I can't really show too detailed on camera. That's not how cameras work. But it's actually a really clear, detailed mirror, and the whole message they said was so you could see yourself in your reflection. Presented to EposVox for passing 100,000 subscribers. YouTube. And it's got little mounting hooks or spots, which I'm going to hang it on the wall behind me. Thank you so much, guys. Holy crap. Despite given that it had been sitting here for a while, I didn't expect to get like this, but oh man. 100,000 subscribers, amazing accomplishment. We're not stopping anytime soon. I'm pumping out content, trying to get ahead, because I'm about to, by the time you see this, I will be at an event for Intel, which you'll have to see on social media. And so I'm trying to get caught up on content and stuff, but we have big plans, we have big things coming, and it all starts with this. I mean, it started with me making the channel and doing things in the first place, but we're getting there. Alright, so for those of you who have been following the channel, I had to move apartments. We had an apartment flood, and it was crazy, and all stuff got destroyed, and so we moved, and we're mostly unpacked now, and I now have a dedicated office space, pretty much a normal living room instead of it being all office. I still have a workbench, a server rack, a entire bedroom dedicated to a studio, and an entire bedroom dedicated to a retro game room, which is my gaming channel set. We're gonna go tour all that right now. Alright, so as a forewarning, things are still kind of a mess. Things are not 100% complete, but I've been putting this off for so long, I said no more. And even as I went to start recording this now, I started to get sleepy and wanted to go play games or just watch videos for the rest of the day, and so I need to get it done. Let's tour the new office. Upon entering our living room, it is no longer just a living room. I mean, it was never going to be just a living room. We have our traditional seating living room area. The couch is covered in stuff right now. We were just vacuuming. A single sound blanket this time, so that we don't cover all of the walls, but that one we weren't going to hang anything on other than like posters. So producer's choice sound blanket to help reduce ambient noise in the room and reverb, and then a couple couches, and we have my Intel crate that I got last year as our coffee table, since our couches are basically on the ground. And then we have the TV setup, which actually doesn't have video hardware set up yet. I'm waiting on some like 30 feet HDMI cables to arrive so I can run everything over to my computers. But it's the 4K Samsung 42, I don't remember the model number, I'll have it on screen, the 4K HDR TV that I got, and I have it hooked up to the Creative Sound Blaster X Katana soundbar. And then down here, of course, we have all of the consoles that I'm going to keep up here, which isn't all of them. I've got a 4K Blu-ray HDR player, I've got the PS4 Pro, my original Xbox One Halo 5 edition, an Xbox 360, and a PS3, and then the Wii U, and that is an HD DVD player for the Xbox 360. And then at the moment I just have some games on the side, as we are actually going to put a second set of shelves here. We have them upstairs. And then up top is storage for old boxed PC games and just display figures, which I think turned out really, really nice actually. Off to the right is one coffee table that will be controller chargers and stuff once I get it cleared up. It's a box of controllers and chargers and retro stuff. And then over here on the left, I have my base PS4, which I keep on reserve for doing jailbreak tutorials. I need to work on that. And then I have my Audio-Technica LP60 turntable, which I am actually not a huge fan of. It's been pretty good, especially for the price I got it used, because it was a little beat up. But I feel like it has this issue where it plays things at variable speed, which is like a common complaint about it. And so sometimes it plays things just a little too fast. So not a huge fan. And then I picked up this $10 Onkyo 6 CD changer, and the CD changer mechanic works, but the audio playback is skippy and glitchy. So I'm going to see if there's anything I can do about repairing it, but I'll probably have to trash it. 2 towers of game storage. At the moment, like I said, the walls are empty. And we move on to Mega Desk 3.0. This is the rig of stuff I was recording the first part of this video on. I've got a Manfrotto Tripod and video head. And then I've got these awesome impact mounting arms, my Atomos Ninja Inferno monitor and recorder, and then this is the Aputure C120D light, and then the mini light dome, which is an incredible light, and I wish I had like 2 or 3 so I could have some upstairs, because it is incredibly heavy and awkward to like move up and down stairs, and it's a wonderful light, and I wish I had more, but they're expensive as hell. Can't afford more right now. But Megadesk 3.0 is obviously the 3rd iteration in my Megadesk creation. This is built by me. The desk surface is MDF, and so we're actually using parts of Megadesk 2.0 and 2.5 from the last apartment. We shortened my fiance's side over here, because she's shorter than I am and didn't like how tall I kept my side. So we actually dropped hers down a bit to be more comfortable for her. She's got a dual monitor setup and my old AMD FX 9590 PC build with a GTX 970, although it's been randomly locking up on her, so we might upgrade her soon. We've got networking gear over here, the Synology RT2600 AC router and my TP-Link 10 gigabit switch, which runs to all of this stuff and also runs up and over to my server rack over there, which we'll cover in the future. I'm currently running Spectrum Cable 330 internet, but I'm getting AT&T fiber installed actually, like, probably by the time you watch this. Now, I currently have a disaster zone of computer towers here. There's a Mac Pro that I got for a really awesome video. That is my i7 6900K rig that I'm going to use as a capture rig that kind of moves around. That is the $80 computer that I use for budget game testing, and that is the Ryzen 2200G APU computer that I still need. I still owe you a lot of benchmarks. Over here is my gaming setup. I finally get to have separate editing and gaming setups, and it's freaking incredible. I'm going to go ahead and turn my ISO back down here. This is my VHS DVD combo unit that I use to capture high quality VCR captures. And then this is that BenQ Zowie XL2730 144 Hz 1440p monitor that I game on. It is amazing. And down below is that CyberPower PC that has an Intel Core i7 8700K and a GTX 1080 that they were kind enough to sponsor me for those sponsored videos. I use my HyperX PUBG desk mat that I got from IEM Oakland last year. Logitech G502 Proteus Core is my gaming mouse of choice always. Actually, that's the Proteus Spectrum. And then I actually have a new gaming keyboard. I was using that Logitech G615, I want to say, wireless gaming keyboard, which I still need to review, but I've switched to this wireless keyboard. It is so freaking tiny. It is, the Velocifier. You can, I'll have a link in the description below. It is 10 keyless. It is super, super tiny, which is perfect when I have so much junk on my desk. Having a tiny keyboard, especially since I'm gaming, like my hand is pretty much always right here on WASD. Like, that is perfect, and it's only $40, and it's lag-free. It's really nice. Back here I have that keyboard I mentioned, and then my various laptops, my MacBook, my EVGA SC15 gaming laptop, and my System 76 Lemur Linux laptop. Haven't really got these shelves populated yet, but these are more PC game boxes and figures on display. And then this is my Windows XP gaming setup with the incredible Impression 200VX CRT monitor. This thing is 21 inches, it weighs 70 pounds, it can do between like 1440p and 4K equivalent of 4x3 at 60 and 70 to 85 hertz, and then I can do like 150 plus hertz at lower resolutions. And if you do interlaced, which is generally fine on CRTs, you can get up to 200 hertz, which is freaking crazy. Down here we have some of my audio processing gear, the preamp, the power conditioner, and the DBX286S channel strip that I use to process my primary microphone. There is the Windows XP Agunimon computer I've made a video on a few months back. Main gaming computer. And then over here we have my new computer, which I have not done a video on yet, Trunks. This has an Intel Core i9 7980XE, that is an 18-core 36-thread processor, a GTX 1080 Ti. I've got a 10 gigabit network card in there, an Intel 750 series NVMe SSD, which is a really fast write drive. I've got a 64 gigs of kind of mixed RAM. The RAM situation is really, really bad right now. It is too expensive for me to get a good kit. I modded a USB-C port in the top, and it's in an Enthoo Pro M tempered glass case with an Asus X299 Workstation Sage motherboard. Brand new, just got it installed. Haven't figured out fan curves yet, so it's a little loud, but it is a freaking incredible build that Intel provided me the processor for, and that has been amazing. Then for the rest of Megadesk here, that YouTube play button I just showed you, we've got my wonderful EposVox sign from glitch/219gaming.com/the-explorographer that I showed off in previous videos. It's getting a little overexposed. My speakers of choice are studio monitors. They're the Mackie CR3 set. They're alright. They're pretty good. They've been my favorite speaker set thus far, which is why they have permanent wall mounts now. This is a generic $40 but super soft and diffused LED panel for my face cam. That is the Lemetric Time. That is a digital clock that also displays subscriber count. It is way too expensive for what it is. It is not worth the money whatsoever, but I have it, so I'm going to mount it and use it. And then that is the Zcam E1 camera that I just made a webcam replacement video about very recently. Then we have my main setup. Logitech MX Master 2S, the Genovation KB170L programmable keyboard. It has a normal keyboard layout with Cherry MX black switches. I can't stand them, but it works for now. And then 66 programmable macro keys to replace that other Genovation control pad I had, which is really handy. I've got dual Elgato Stream Decks. I've got palette gear, which I'm having a lot of issues with right now. And then I've actually reverted back. I had upgraded, and a lot of you guys were asking about. I've reverted back to my Behringer Xenix mixer, as I was having some issues with the PreSonus one that I upgraded to. So that's hooked up with all my audio gear. And then monitors. I've got the LG 31MU97, which is a DCI 4K 4096 by 2160 panel, and then which is made for production. Although I paid way too much for it, and it's not HDMI 2.0, which drives me insane. And then the LG 27UD68, which is a standard 4K IPS panel, which is really nice. And then for headphones, I use the Audio-Technica BPHS1 broadcast headset for when I'm doing game, voice chat, and stuff like that. And then when I'm doing normal stuff, I currently use the Sennheiser HD6XX Mass Drop editions. And that is Megadesk 3.0. Freaking crazy. I'm so happy with how it turned out. Every iteration of Megadesk gets better and better, but this one finally gets me the kind of setup that I thought I might have to wait till we had a house for, which is dedicated production setup, CRT monitor mounted in here, that thing is heavy as hell, and dedicated gaming setup, so I can have separate setups. It's just amazing for my workflow and for my work-life separation. Over here is a bit more of a disaster, and so I'm not going to show too much right now. But that is my $50 server rack that I've made a couple videos on. It has all of my network-attached storage servers in there. So if you glance inside, there's lots of blinky lights as the hard drives are working. And then monitor graveyard up top. This is where I store all my extra monitors. I currently have a new Lorex security system that I'm working on doing some sponsored content for, so I have that running as a test. And then this is my workbench that I built back in 2016 in the old place that I will eventually clean up all the cable organization. And I just got in the Gamers Nexus mod mat. Super stoked, love it. It's very high quality. It's just currently buried. Going upstairs, we have the new studio, which is still a little bit of a mess. We still got shelves that need hung, and I really don't have room for a lot of the stuff that I need to put away in here, but it's in enough of a state that I can show the general layout. This is going to look pretty familiar. It is pretty similarly set up to the old studio room, the advantage being now I don't have the workbench in here, so I have a lot more room to move, and my goal was to keep it minimal, as little stuff in the floor and on the walls protruding out as possible, so I have maximum floor space for moving out my only table to actually shoot videos on into the room and be able to shoot B-roll and things like that. Walking into the room, I have a producer's choice sound blanket mounted on the wall, followed by my backdrop stand, and I can actually start using my paper backdrops again, which I will be very excited for. I haven't pulled it down or figured that out. And then I have a bunch of light stands and things that I use in videos that I usually don't feel like tearing back down. I've got my audio recorder and a shotgun microphone, vocal booth for desktop mic, my little Dracast LED panel, which I'm probably going to take downstairs so I can use my Aputure big light up here, the only C-stand that I own, some lights in the floor. This is my unboxing / B-roll table, the only table that I really have to shoot stuff on, so you guys should be very familiar with it, with a simple stool. And then in between things I have lots of tripods, sliders, light stands and stuff, just kind of thrown in here where possible for now. On the other wall I do have another sound blanket, keeps the reverb dead as can be in here, helps keep ambient sound down. Cable little thing on the back of the door just because I don't have anywhere else for it to go. Kitty cat. Now that black shelf that you'll see in the retro room that my games are usually stored in previous sets, that was originally here, which is why this wall is empty. I'm probably going to keep it empty just as an easier wall to shoot on at some point, even though it's really hard to white balance these walls. At some point I may put something on there, but I try to avoid branding in my studio space in terms of posters and things like that. Then we have some shelves that I can use as backdrop sets as well. Ironically I say no branding, but this is more general things. This is a bookshelf that I've had with me since I was a child. Just some general product boxes and projectors and stuff up there. Then we have my collection of books and things I need to cover on video soon. Just stuff that I thought might be interesting in the backdrop of a shot. Very blurred out. And then down, just general storage. We've got game mags all through here, going back to the early 2000s. Programming and editing books going back to olden times. Game guides and D&D books, and then some entrepreneurial books, some more game books, etc. Just thought it'd be pretty cool. And then over here, I haven't hooked up the LED strips for it yet, so it's pretty dark. This is the metal gear shelf that I keep a lot of my gear stuff up on here. So we got cameras and audio, LED panels, more audio, hard drives and stands, Pelican cases, the works. And then I have a bunch of plastic drawers here which hold a lot of stuff, honestly. This one is my lenses, so most of my lenses are kept in here. I've got general junk there. I've got little cameras in this drawer. So I've got little action cameras and point and shoots and some lens filters. This is audio equipment, earbuds. This is like desktop USB devices. Those may get moved downstairs if I find room, but like capture cards and mice and things like that. And these need a serious rehaul or overhaul, but I haven't figured out exactly how I want to do it yet. I swear to God, she's digging in the blinds. Hey. Cats are driving me insane lately. They don't get along, so we have to keep them separate, and they misbehave sometimes. Like, get off the blinds! Here, you don't need to dig at them anymore. And she also, both of the cats actually have sunken this lid in, as predicted by you all when I was setting it up in stream. That has a bunch of analog video cables, like RCA cables and composite video and stuff. This has headphones, but I have way more headphones than what can fit in here. And then this is like power bricks, but none of that really goes up here in the studio, so at some point that all needs overhauled, and then I don't even have room for these cables right now. Eventually some shelves, not necessarily those shelves are going downstairs, but if I get more of these shelves, they're gonna go here so I have more product box storage. And then we have the closet, which I have outfitted with a crap load of shelves. So honestly, organization is not my strong suit in terms of trying to just get things in as quick as possible. So I've got desktop towers, camera bags, miscellaneous bags. Those are my backdrop texture placemat items. I've got some more of those there. Product boxes, important paper crates, lots of sound foam. And then product box hell. I've got a keyboard shelf. This is all keyboards, although that's a ripple tangent, but like keyboards and keyboard-esque things. Microphones, mice, capture cards, motherboards. Behind all this is two different stacks of laptops, speaker boxes, video processing gear, more products, more desktop towers. I gotta figure out how to get rid of some of this stuff. Every time I've gone through and gotten rid of so much through the move, and yet there's so much I wind up keeping, so we shall see. And a lot of this I honestly haven't even covered. Like, a lot of this hasn't even been opened. This is the first capture card I ever bought back in 2010. I wanted to do another unboxing of it, and AverMedia sent it to me, and that was months ago and I haven't gotten to it yet. So eventually this will get cleared out as my to-do list shortens, but that's the closet of product box hell, which I will keep shut and try not to let stress me out. But this is the studio. This is where I will be recording at least the B-roll for a lot of videos. Ideally, if I get the paper backdrop going all smooth, then I got the Elgato green screen here, I can use that as well. I'll do some actual A-roll in here too, but this is where like the camera gear gets housed and used a lot of the time. Pretty cool. And I've got in all of the rooms, the office, the studio, and the game room, I've got these blackout curtains here to keep the light under control, because that was something I struggled with at the old place, and to help dampen noise, along with the sound blankets. Let's go down the hallway to the game room. Also, for those that don't believe I would get rid of stuff, we've already taken 2 different loads of stuff to Goodwill in terms of books and games and toys and cables and stuff, and I already have another load ready to go. Those are all games, books, camera bags, things. And lastly, we enter what is by far my favorite room in the entire apartment, this is what I call my retro room, which is my retro game station, as you can see here. This room honestly just makes me the happiest out of every room that I have to work in and play in. Every time I just see like the glimpse when I'm coming through the door of the posters hung and the shelves and the games, I just get really excited and really happy. This reminds me of just a cross of the dream game room I wanted, plus my bedroom at my parents' house when I still lived at home. And so every time I'm like looking at games and at the shelves and stuff, I expect to turn around and see my old bed or something like that. But it is pretty cool. I have built this room as a dedicated retro game room, a place where I can just come in here, relax, not think about work too much unless I specifically want to stream and play games and get to hang all of the different posters and things that I have. I've actually gotten rid of quite a few posters over the years just due to not being able to keep up with them and them getting torn up when we take them off walls. Got my Total Biscuit poster there. My PlayStation neon sign that I got from the Game Force auction last year or late 2016. I don't remember which. I'm keeping it off for now. I need to do some research into neon sign maintenance. I don't know what the upkeep is like, if I should leave it on or if it's okay to keep plugging it and unplugging it. Some of the black paint on the back of the letters is flaking off, and so I need to figure out if I need to like mark that up or if I just should never touch it. I don't know a whole lot about it, so I need to research that. But got the OG Black Ops, well, I guess it's not OG if it's Black Ops 2, but Black Ops 2, I have a lot of stuff, merch and signs and stuff from when I worked at GameStop. Main games collection for non-current gen games, and this is that shelf that's been in the background of a lot of my content. None of the games are organized in any specific order yet. I haven't the slightest idea how I want to do that, but we have PS2 on the right with MISC stuff in the middle and Xbox 360 and original Xbox and PS3 on the left. I clearly probably have the most for PS2 out of any single system. Up here at the top we have PlayStation 1 games in the CD holders. Got some game art books, some music, miscellaneous stuff, game soundtracks, music up there. Mirror's Edge Catalyst little statue, really, really cool. I get a lot of collector's editions after their game's already been way out, so I get them cheap. Like that was $20. I've got the Just Cause 3 little grappling hook thing up there. That was probably $20 or less. The Deus Ex Mankind Divided dude, Adam Jensen up here was under $20 or so. That's how I get my collector's editions. Shelves with tapes and games and just general display items. It's a Aku Aku mask that my fiance got me for my birthday last year. This Kratos painting was made for me by an ex. Parental advisory poster's been in most videos. Then we have a few CRTs here. I'm still working on the video matrix to really get this set up the way I want because it is complicated as hell. But I have, actually let me sit down here. You can see I have a lot of systems hooked up. I've got Sega Dreamcast, Sega Saturn, a DVD VCR combo unit that I need to swap out because it does not have optical audio. Actually there we go. Original Xbox, Xbox 360, GameCube, which is one I'm hoping to play later, NES that currently doesn't work, Nintendo 64 that's been RGB modded, Sega Genesis, PS3, that is the Analog Super NT Mini, whatever it is, the new SNES from Analog. I actually have that in place of my normal Super Nintendo, which works fine, but I ran out of component or RGB inputs, so I went with the HDMI model instead. A little plug-and-play Atari system, and then a composite S-Video switcher and an HDMI switcher. And then over here, I have my surround sound receiver, which of course will do surround sound receiving and switching as well, but then a cables to go component switcher. It is 6x2, which means it puts out two different outputs, which means I can split things off for streaming and recording if I want to get a little streaming PC going in here at some point on the list. None of the cable management is fully done yet. I haven't figured out how to effectively mount the speakers, and that center speaker only has a single hook to mount vertically, which just looks stupid. That's not how center speakers really work. Don't really like the speaker set, but they're also not shielded, so I can't get them right on top of the CRTs or it distorts the image. On top we have my base, or my modded PS2 that has the hard drive in it, and then that blue one is a Japanese PS2 that I got sent so I could play some Japanese games. All of these systems are switched up and ran into the open source scan converter here, which is a line doubling box, which basically up converts the signal to a higher signal format, and then runs into this ViewSonic CRT monitor, and I can do 4x or 5x modes on it, which is really high resolution, looks really nice and sharp. And then the plan is, once I get some longer cables, I'm going to split off the composite and video signals to this Commodore monitor here that a family member recently gave me, and that red bubble TV that you guys love so much. I still haven't figured out how to organize my my cartridge games either, so they're just in a box for now. This table's eventually going to be a charging table. That will hold some games once I have the need. My Diablo stand from when I worked at GameStop. More collector's editions and board games and stuff. My family used to have 2 of these in our basement, entertainment home theater setup, and before our flood in 2009, and they kept vinyl in it. And as I've been looking for ways to store my vinyl, I encountered this at Goodwill, and I just had to pick it up because it was perfect. And so all of my vinyl and laser discs are currently in there, and I like it a lot. Still have a mess of some stuff in the floor here just because I haven't figured out exactly where everything is going. The goal is the 5.1 surround system. I also have a cheapo soundbar I could hook up instead if I needed to, but that's probably also not shielded, so I would have to figure out how to mount that away from the screens. It's complicated when you're working with CRTs. I literally just got finished putting the curtains and the sound blanket up, and the sound blanket is precariously mounted from the ceiling. I'm hoping it doesn't rip out one day. But then I can slide it out of the way, and we have the closet space, which currently seasonal and dress shirts are in here, along with extraneous storage of things. Like my Wii is up there, a spare PSP that's not in good condition. We've got toy stuff, 360s, PlayStation 1s, games, more PS1s, that Super Nintendo, more VCRs and combo units. These are all educational tapes that I'll need to digitize in the floor. And then some extra CRTs, PVMs, VCRs, more tapes. All of that goes in the closet, which is pretty handy. And then I keep it hidden here. And since this entire room is also the set for my gaming videos and my gaming related videos, and I've recorded a couple like that in here already, then this does a good job. This is a producer's choice sound blanket that's hanging here as well, which helps reduce reverb and echo while I'm recording in here. And these blinds and the light is in a perfect position to where I can just open the curtains when I'm recording, and that's some nice soft diffused light. And generally, as long as it's bright daytime, I don't really need any more light than that. Eventually I'm going to get some posters on the door and up here and behind the door. I have some I was going to hang, but I just haven't gotten to it yet. I want more that aren't from 2012, because that's where most of my gaming merch is from, because that's when I worked at GameStop. And that is it for my studio tour for 2018. Well, for the first half of 2018 in our new apartment. Apologize for the lighting right now. Things have been crazy. The move was super stressful. I'm so behind on content, but I am cranking it out, and we have nothing but amazing things coming for the next 900,000 subscribers if we get that far. So I am super stoked to get some new courses out for you guys, to get some new tutorials, new awesome projects going, catch up on the backlog of some videos. Hope you enjoyed the studio and office and game room tour. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe for more awesome tech content, and join the over 100,000 of you, and I'll see you in the next one. We will do updated studio tours as things change. We haven't even hung posters yet or anything, but just wanted to show you what we had going right now. Thank you so much for 100K. See you in the next one.